Yes, sir. Salute. Salute, YouTube world. Salute. Absolutely. Respect, respect from Nocturnal Thoughts, man. This is Boxing After Dark with the host, Nocturnal. Tired, man. I'm about to lay down, man. You know what I'm saying? And get some shut eye. Close my eyes and reflect and you know what I'm saying, be in peace. But before I do that, I just wanted to lay down one or two thoughts. With all my night owls out there, man, I hope y'all had a nice night, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all had a successful, progressive, whatever you endeavor in, whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever you do in pursuit of following your dreams and out there grustling and grinding and you know what I'm saying, being respectful and being an upstanding citizen and you know what I'm saying, just be the best of who you can be. And if you love talking about this boxing game, salute to you. I caught myself listening to the boxing rant. You know what I'm saying? I like their channel. It might not be your cup of tea, but go check them out. The boxing rant. I like the way they bounce ideas back and forth. I forget the host names. I've probably been watching their channel for probably about, I don't know, 4 months or whatever. So go check them out. I checked out a little bit of Showbiz Did Dope. I checked out a little bit of Real Talk Boxing. The Relay. I checked out the Relay. And Contender Regime Boxing. Salute to you, my brother. I checked him out. And mostly, I tried to get caught up on the Oscar Valdez versus Miguel Berchelt fight because I didn't see the shootout. I missed it. It got past me. Silly me. I got caught up in looking at the return of Adrian Broner, Jerome. And a few people was already saying, look, man, we not concerned with this return of AB. The problem, he's fighting this Giovanni Santiago. You know what I'm saying? This is just a tune-up fight. This is just a fight to fatten up Adrian Broner, preparing him for the slaughter for the Rougarou. The Rougarou gonna come and get you. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't a good little boy, if you don't eat all your vegetables, the Rougarou is gonna come and get you. But so Adrian Broner, man, you better be eating them vegetables, man. you better focus on losing those other 6 pounds, AB. You know, AB reminds me of, off subject just a little bit. AB reminds me of, I think his name was Jimmy Walters. I know that's not right. I'm missing it. But if you ever watched Cadillac Records, it's a story about Muddy Waters. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the blues. Got Cedric the Entertainer narrating the whole movie. But Waters was the little kid that came out that was blowing on a harmonica. And he was the best harmonica player ever. That's it. That's all of it. And him and Muddy Waters, man, they was like the originators of a whole new sound for the blues. You know what I'm saying? And he put down that one track, my baby don't stand no cheating, my baby. And, they sing Elvis Presley ripped that off. But Adrian Broner to me runs parallel with I think his name was Jimmy Walters. Just as soon as he started to become successful, he started to sabotage himself. And his 3 vices was the same vices that Adrian Broner had: gambling, women, and alcohol. That's why Muddy Waters said, boy, you need to stick to that Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? That drink ain't for you. You stick to that Coca-Cola. But same thing, man. Just it's I hope Adrian Broner does not turn out to be a cautionary tale. I mean, I wish nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes he's an easy target with some of his shenanigans and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, if I gotta be honest, when I look in the mirror and see myself, I look at Adrian Broner and I see myself, Adrian Broner, I got 10 years on AB. You might as well say I'm 41. I'll be 41 next month. Adrian Broner is like 30. I got 10 years on Adrian Broner, but I see a brother when I look into him. I see a reflection of what I could have been if I would have stayed on the wrong track. If I would have stayed with the same mindset, I could have been the same situation of just sabotaging your whole life. So I want nothing but the best for Adrian Broner from this point moving forward. Just make better decisions. I don't care what you do inside the ring. I can see for myself what you most likely are going to do inside the ring, but what you do outside of the ring, man, you know, I love to see him when he's just being himself, playing with his sons and with his kids. Man, be a family man. Just be a family man, be a good husband, and live within your means so that you can live a nice, long, healthy life, man. Stay away from all those vices. Those vices just destroy you, period, point blank. And you can see it. You can see it when you look at AB, that you know, he's fighting with demons, and sometimes those demons is whooping his ass. Right now, he's winning. Stay winning. Stay winning. And stay away from the vices, man. You know what I'm saying? Live a long, long life. Be like, you know what I'm saying? Even like how Mike Tyson is, man. Mike Tyson would have never dreamed to be the age he is. I remember Mike Tyson was talking about, I watched interviews with Mike Tyson was like 30 years old. He was like, man, I never would have believed I was going to be 30 years old, man. Look at me now. I'm 30, I'm 35. Man, hey, look at me, man. I'm 40 years old. I just never could imagine that I would be 40 years old. Now this man is like 50 something, almost 60 years old, man. This man lived a whole 30 years, 3 decades on top of what he thought he was going to be able to make it to. And how many changes, ebbs and flows, and high points and reinventions, and just a whole different version of yourself can come out after boxing. So just stay focused, AB, and keep yourself on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Be the best AB and stay away from the vices. That's what's going to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? They give you the tools for you to destroy yourself. Stay away from it. So anyways, but I wanted to see AB return, even though his fight was lacking in luster. And I watched that fight again last night, matter of fact. I watched that fight again, and to me still, it was a close fight. Could have been a draw, but I still lean towards Adrian Broner. He just did more. His punches were more captivating, polarizing, more effective, and he just did just enough. He did cut Santiago, and he almost knocked Santiago down. Just missing a little bit of killer instinct, which, you know, that's been going for a while. But to consider him being out of the ring for 2 years and coming back, his performance was mediocre. I think he can do a little bit better. But once again, I don't think he's ready for a Regis Prograis. Definitely not, you know, he's definitely not ready for Josh Taylor. But like I said, eat your vegetables, AB. Be a good little boy, or the Rougarou is going to come and get you. Now back to what I was going to say so I can wrap this video up. Because like I said, I was not paying attention to the Berchelt versus Valdez. And what really caught my attention today was Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Well, how is that, you might ask me? It is because after Valdez sparked Berchelt, Twitter went crazy. Leonard Ellaby was putting out cryptic messages about people moving up in weight and people fighting smaller people. And then Gervonta Tank Davis was putting out tweets talking about, hey man, I'll put you to sleep. I'll tuck you in. You know what I'm saying? Make you go night-night. Now, whether or not I believe Gervonta Tank Davis will sleep and tuck him into bed, that's another subject, another video for another day. What got my attention is the fact that Oscar Valdez got Gervonta Tank Davis attention. And what made me think of Mr. Gary Russell Jr. is Mr. Gary Russell Jr. had taken the advice of Mr. Bernard Hatchett and went and fought and destroyed Miguel Berchelt the way Valdez did, he would have got the fight he's been asking for, or at least getting the attention of the fighter he's been asking for all this time, which is Gervonta Tank Davis. So it just made me say, if Gary Russell Jr. wasn't so damn hard-headed, and to me, Gary Russell Jr. just doesn't want to take any advice or any criticism, you know, when it was this whole build-up for him fighting Devin Haney, which we see how that turned out. It was just funny to me because Bernard Hatchett said if I was to be able to help Gary Russell Jr. with a little bit of advice, I would have him go fight Miguel Berchelt, and that will get your name buzzing again. And he was talking about Shawty, you know what I'm saying? How you say you don't believe in me, and you know, your little son, little Jaleel Hatchett, man. Matter of fact, he was getting his ass whipped by my brother, and you know, Slim this and Slim that. And I'm like, man, Mr. Gary Russell Jr., man, sometimes he just, to me, he too high on his own self a little bit too much. When you sitting there talking about it's hard for you to get a fight, but when somebody offer you a little bit of advice, you quick to, you know what I'm saying, attack them verbally and attack their son and you know, just off the rails. Off the rails. If he would have fought Berchelt and did to Berchelt what Valdez just did, he might have been getting tweets the next day from none other than Leonard Ellaby and Gervonta Tank Davis. And then he could have made those dudes back up their word and get the fight he's been asking for. Because, like, you know, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. was calling Mayweather all out of his name. He's been saying that Gervonta Tank Davis is protected. And, you know what I'm saying, he's being, you know, manufactured in a way where he's just fighting soft touches, and he's not, you know, he said, matter of fact, when they asked Mr. Gary Russell Jr. what he thought about Gervonta Tank Davis knocking out Leo Santa Cruz, he said, you know, Leo Santa Cruz was winning the first 3-4 rounds. Had it would have been me, I would have took Shorty to the late rounds and drowned him. You know what I'm saying? So it just made me think, maybe sometimes you need to listen to people when they're giving you some solid advice, because Berchelt wasn't really on my radar until Mr. Hatchett was like, go fight Berchelt. So I looked into Berchelt more, and I said, hey, that'd be a good move. Matter of fact, I didn't even make a prediction on Berchelt versus Valdez. And if I would have made a prediction, I would have been eating my words today, because I would have picked Berchelt. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at it on Tell of the Tapes, and I'm like, yeah, Berchelt is the man. Lo and behold, Valdez, now he's in my sights, because I really want to go back and watch all of his fights, because the fashion that he knocked out Berchelt on the back foot going backwards, that reminded me of some Floyd Money Mayweather. When Floyd Money Mayweather said one of the first things his father ever taught him was how you put your back foot on the ball of your foot. And when he comes out the first round, after the first bell, he can look at the fighters and how they place their feet, and he can already have them beat just like that. And I like the way Valdez plants that back foot on the ball of his foot, digs it into the canvas, and is ready to explode. So he has power going backwards. And that impressed me. You know what I'm saying? And Berchelt impressed me too, because he was hurt in the 4th round bad. And he was able to, you know what I'm saying, gather his wits and refortify himself and come back in and last another couple of rounds before he got put out like that. You dig what I'm saying? So just how it caught my attention from my perspective. I said, ain't that ironic that, you know, I wake up the next day and I'm looking at videos talking about the potential of Gervonta Tank Davis clout chasing Oscar Valdez, and everybody got their opinion on Oscar Valdez, and Oscar Valdez right now is the man. You know what I'm saying? And before that, he wasn't the man. And Mr. Gary Russell Jr. wants to be the man, but he can't get a fight. He could have fought Berchelt, and he could be the man today, and not just talking about what he did 15, 20 years ago, but what he just did, over the weekend. So that's my nocturnal thought, man. I'll leave y'all with that. Peace from Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. You dig? Eat your vegetables, man. Eat your vegetables, man. Salute, salute, salute. And nothing but the best to all the fighters that fought this weekend. Otto Valen, Dominic Brazil, Oscar Valdez, Miguel Berchelt, Adrian Broner, and a whole list of others that I haven't even got a chance to go back and rewatch. I'm out. Salute. Peace.